So let's go over the letters we have learned thus far. We have 3 left to go, and 2 new vowel rules, not really sounds, but rules. So name them with me. Shin, Bet, Tav, Lamed, Mem, final Mem, Hey, Resh, Aleph, Ayin, Nun, final Nun, Chet, Chaf, final Chaf, Vav, Vet, Tzadi, final Tzadi, Dalit, Yud, Kaf, Kuf, Pei, Sin, Samech, Fe, final Fe. 18 vowel sounds, 2 more to go. So let's put a dalit in here. Da, 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 do, 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 de, de, day, day, di, do, di, die, die. Then we learned this ending. Goes before the cha. They don't even give you an example here. But we learned the word sameach, which was a sin, a mem, and this rule. Okay, so sin in this box, mem in this box, and this kind of this look, the chet with the underneath it, sameach. I'm sorry, I can't write on here. All right, let's read our vocab words that we know so far. Shabbat, Shalom, Torah, Shem, Shema, Baruch, Beracha, Teshuvah, Ahava, Mitzvah, Chaim, Tzedakah, Tefillah, Simcha. And then we didn't really cover this in the class because I'm more focused on your Hebrew reading. But rule of thumb, if you can't figure out what a particularly long word might be, try to find the main 3 letters in it. This just takes practice and a lot of experience. But more often than not, you should be able to figure it out. So I'll leave that up on my screen. You can study for yourself, and you can pause here if you'd like. We're going to go on to page 100. So our 3 new letters, Gimel, the 3rd letter in the Aleph Bet, Gimel, just a G sound. We've learned the letter Tav in the very first chapter of the book. That's the last letter of the Aleph Bet. This is Tet, which is often confused for the letter Tav. Just on name, not sound, obviously, because it's the same sound, but just mostly on name. So Tet is the 9th letter in the Aleph Bet, and then you have Zayin, which is the 6th letter in the Aleph Bet, just like a Z sound. Often people will mistaken it or shy away from a Z, and it might be a tiny little on the edge of a Tzadi, and vice versa. A Tzadi might be on more the edge of Zayin. So really pay attention to those letters when you're pronouncing them. Okay, look-alike letters. Again, I'll agree with some. I won't agree with all of them. Nun and Gimel, maybe, sometimes. Somebody mentioned that they see the Gimel has like a little kickstand. In my mind, I'm like, a gick stand? Because of a G sound? I don't know. So there's a little gap, as it says in the book. Gimel has a gap. I don't know. Whatever works for you. But yeah, if depending on the font and depending how quickly you're reading it, Nun and Gimel could look similar. Mem and Tet, Sometimes most of my students will mix this up. I think because they both have a little break, but mem is on the bottom and tet is on top. So just be careful as you read. Zayin versus vav, not so much. I don't see this as an issue. But yes, if you're reading quickly, you might mistaken one for the other. And then this I definitely don't agree with. Zayin versus final nun. It depends on the font. Yes, sometimes it'll look like, that they have the same tops. But nun is going to come. Final nun is only going to come at the end of a word, as we know. And it's going to fall lower than the rest of the letters on the line. So I'm not sure I totally agree with that one. Onward. We're going to name our letters on line A because I'm less interested in the sound. Line A. Gimel, nun, gimel, nun, chaf, nun, gimel, nun, vav, zayin, final nun, zayin, vav, zayin. Line B. Tet, mem, tet, mem, samech, final mem, tet, kuf, tet, chaf, mem, tet. Line C. Gimel, nun, chaf, vet, final chaf, final fe, samech, final mem, tet, vav, zayin. Line D. Hey, chet, tav, yud, zayin, vav, nun, gimel, chaf, resh, dalet, tet, mem. Feel free to take those nice and slow. I know that was not easy. Line E. I'm going to continue to go this slow. Go, no, new, goo, gay, tay, zay, z, v, ve, ze, ge, ne. Line F. Tie, my, guy, gi, ti, ta, ma, va, za, zu, tu, mu. Line G. Goo, gay, nay, ni, gi, z, zo, vo, za, ta, te, tu. Go back over them if you need to. That's the beauty of YouTube and rewinding. Line H. Baz, kaz, naz, gaz, goes, toes, twos, moos, maze, tays. Line I. Seat, eat, eam, ret, det, het, Goed, suit. Line J. Sieg, sheeg, pog, fog, sog, tog, tove, mauve. For those in class last night, this is where I messed up. Line K. Zeef, zeev, zoff, zeph, zet, zets, zees, vis, niece, geese. All right, longer letter vowel combinations, bottom of page 101, line L. Ganav, ganaz, ganan, gasas, garas, garam, garaf. Line M. Gomel, golel, zolel, zoleg, zolef, yizlof, zalaf. This is an example of when I did not look at the entirety of the word. Yizlof. I did not look ahead. I just saw that lamed and was thinking, where does that go? I did not see the dot on the upper left-hand corner. It happens to the best of us. Yizlof. Line N. Terem, teref, beten, betach, tevach, teva. Line O. Tipa, he-ta, he-teal, he-teef, li-teif, shataf. Line P. Zoreach, boteach, batuach, natua, gazul, gumats, guyats. Line Q. Azakeh, agae, apaneg, mifayeg, yifaleg, yikalges. Line R. He'ezin, he'ezir, hizdamain, hitztarech, histader. We've now learned the word tova because we've learned the letter tet, and we have the vav vowel sound, and then vet. The Hebrew root, as we mentioned before, just look at the main three letters in the word. Tet, vav, vet, tov, or tova. Masculine, feminine. It means like good. Okay, so we know our O vowel sound and our oo vowel sound. Very infrequently, I should have highlighted that last night. It's very infrequent that you're going to see these words. The word that you probably know to go with oi, with this ending, because it's only going to happen at the end of words when you have this type of sound, is goy, like a nation or a non-Jew. It's not a great word. Goy, and then ooey. If we put a gimel here, gooey. Okay. So oi, ooey, but it's only at the end of the words. Okay. So let's try to practice that. We're on page 103, line A. Oi, goy, shoy, noi, soy, boy, poi, hoy. Easy enough. The oi is pretty easy. We know oi. Line B. Remember ooey for the end of it. Cooey, Louie, vui, sui, rui, tui, chui, tsui. This is where a yud straight up just has a vowel sound underneath it. So it doesn't really have that oi sound necessarily, because you're honoring the vowel sound that is underneath the yud, whereas it's coming at the end of a word here, it's coming in the middle of a word for the most part here, and then at the end of all this, we'll talk about this. So line C, o ya, o yev, o yain, oinut, go ye, goyim. So oinut, we're just closing to the syllable of the y sound, but it doesn't fall in this rule. It's the silent shva rule when it's in the middle of a word, okay? So it's the shva rule, not this end of a word oi rule, okay? So oinut. And when it comes to goye, it's the rule of this vowel sound followed by a yud. This vowel sound followed by a yud. So at the beginning of our chapter, when we were reviewing everything, it is, where is it? This. Because as we remember from whichever chapter this was, I don't recall which one it was. This is the same thing as this. If I put a shin in here, this would be shay, and this would also be shay. Okay. The reason it might seem confusing is we have a yud coming before this second yud, but it doesn't matter. If this yud was here or not, it would still be yay, if that makes sense. If it was a shin here, it would be go shay. If it was a bet, it would be go bay. It's a yud, so we say go yay. Line D, practicing our ooey vowel sound at the end of a word only. Matsui, ra-ooey, na-tui, asui, gilui, shi-nui. And then skipping ahead. Let's finish out. We're at page 108. I'm going to read lines A through I, and then I will stop and make a part 2 for chapter 10 to go over the many pieces of prayer and parts of the Hebrew Bible that appear in this textbook. And we'll continue from there. So line A, so ya, go race, go rame, ko rame, so tame. Line B, sheleg, peleg, seret, seren, keren, keresh. Line C, banui, habanui, ratsui, viratsui, vikalui, ugluya. Again, it doesn't have this ui rule because, for one, it's not at the end of a word, and this yud has a vowel sound underneath that we need to make sure we honor. Ugluya. Ugluya. Line D, migdal, mizmor, mitbach, mizbeach, matbeach. Line E, zechuchit, zechichut, zehirut, zekifut. Line F, hechezir, hechezik, hechevir, hecheya, hecheti. Line G. Aguyats, aguyaf, anuzaf, azunach, agunach, agunaz. Like I said last night, it's harder when they're not actually words. I don't know if azunach is a word, but especially when you don't know the word. And you've been reading these random letter vowel combinations. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. But I apologize for that. I don't know how to edit a video, so I'm just going to keep on going because I have 2 lines left. Normally, I would go back and re-record this whole thing, but I'm not gonna. Line H. Yeats ta raid. Yeats ta reich. Yeats ta rafe. Yeats ta make. Line I. He's da knave. He's da vague. He's da aif. He's da raise. He's da care. You can repeat all those by yourself. That's the beauty of YouTube. You can rewind. Look at the entirety of the word. I know I got to a point in making these videos where I got tired and did not take my own advice, and look what happened. It sounds a little bit more separated than I'd like when I'm reading each syllable. Preferably, I'd like to hear he's da knave, he's da vague, he's da aif, he's da raid, he's da care. I can only do that because I just read this line. But you'll be able to do it just as well. I will see you in the next video for the second half of chapter 10. Good luck.